What up, family? Guys, Port Dash 20 Mary Liz, 5:17 a.m. My city, Chicago. Thursday, November 20th, 2025. 100% on my phone, going all the way to 5:25. Okay, Mary McNamara. Okay. You know, they talk about the greatest, and they try to, say that Jordan, who wasn't a Chicagoan, that made all his money because of Chicagoans. That he's supposed to be the best, right? But people forget that in 1984, on this day, November the 20th, Ben Wilson, that was a sought out, semi-pro basketball player that played Simeon basketball. He was a star. He was born March 18th, 1967. Now I'd like to look at the similarities. I was born May 25th of 1967, okay? And now Ben Wilson, the star Chicago Simeon basketball player, died on November 21st of 1984. A couple of months after Michael Jordan signed on September the 12th of 1984 as a rookie basketball player for the Chicago Bulls. Now, they say nothing in this world happens in this world by mistake. And it's definitely not in Chicago. Now, my niece, Juanita Nelson, okay, her name is Juanita. And Michael Jordan's first wife name was Juanita. His second wife name is Yvette. My best friend name was Yvette, and she allegedly died of a brain aneurysm. Now, Michael Jordan's mother was born in 1941. That's when, Pearl Harbor, World War II, against America, whatever the case may be, or vice versa, happened. But they don't tell what date she was born. They just said she was born September of 1941. Now, all skin folk ain't kin folk. You understand? She was also a bank clerk. So I understand why I ain't got no money and how he became, a billionaire over 3 times. He ain't the only one that could play some basketball now. Because quiet as kept, how did he get to Chicago? Especially if, Ben Wilson, excuse me. I'm thinking of his son, Brandon, and then I'm thinking of the mayor, Brandon Johnson. Okay, because, see, he had a child, Ben Wilson, named Brandon. And he went to play basketball a little bit in Maryland. And he also became, a police officer, and he allegedly died in 2022. And we got a mayor in Chicago called Brandon Johnson. It's like, you see where this is going. They say look out for the similarities and not the differences. Long story short, where all that money go? And how did Jordan end up becoming who he is? Why? Because they followed me. Okay, and in 1995, when I said my signature is going to be worth more than Michael Jordan, that wasn't no mistake. That was God telling me, you need to do the research and see, who you're messing with for real, for real. Long story short, they from Africa, Kenya, 9 times out of 10. We Americans, okay? Me and Ben Wilson, Long story short, I was selling merchandise in the streets of Chicago. And when Jordan popularity started rising or whatever the case, you got to remember, Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. But Ben Wilson, he was sought after throughout the country. They really wanted him. And he was taller than Jordan. He could play. Long story short, somebody robbed him. Real talk. It's like they robbing me. Now, when I used to sell merchandise in the streets of Chicago, somebody came up to me with some brand new Nikes, you know, and I believe it was the ones that Jordan first wore, you know, in Chicago or whatever. And it cost me $50. You understand what I'm saying? They were originals too. So if I'm from Chicago and they need somebody to pump him up, who better than a Chicagoan, right? And by that time, I had a little popularity, a little respect, and this, that, and the third, and people watch me, and they copy my style or whatever. But Nike has a goddess, and is a girl, a lady behind that. So when people come to steal, kill, and destroy, they need you to help them, rob you. You understand what I'm saying? But because I ain't know all about the politics and I went into, I was trying to make a honest living. You understand what I'm saying? I was too busy trying to pay bills, so I was distracted. But now that I ain't got nothing to do, and they done robbed me of my loot, you understand what I'm saying? Today is the day that I'm trying to remember Ben Wilson. And then you got to remember they also came out with a movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And the guy that was one of the guys that was playing in the movie, name was Ben Wilson. And Brandy, she played in there also. And Brandy, she allegedly killed somebody with her car or whatever the case. You understand? I guess killers and thieves and all kind of people like that gonna stick together. I don't know what to say. I just know some told me to check into this. I didn't realize that Ben Wilson, the basketball player, had got, shot by gang violence because of gang violence on this day, November the 20th, and then died the next day, November 21st. But I do know somebody owed Chicago more than COVID, drugs, and alcohol. So it wasn't nothing for Jordan after he retired to start smoking and drinking and, giving Chicagoans that negative spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why Chicago looks like it does today. It's 5:25. I don't drink, drugs, smoke, or fornicate. But you can't be the greatest and hating on the same ones that helped you. So I got this Bible scripture. 2 Chronicles with your smoking ass. 35. I'm the originator of rap since the age of 8, 1975. And I put Michael Jordan first in my I Look Up rap. I said, Michael Jordan, my number one man. He can dunk, slam, and palm the ball with his hand. A black superstar near and far that played the best basketball you've ever saw. Obviously, that's not the case. This the 14. Somebody agreeing with envy. And this the 10. My city, Chicago. Mississippi versus Chicago, I guess. This the 12. Jesus had 12 disciples. One of them had to be a girl. And this the 11. That's why I'm number one twice. With that, it's your ghetto news report. Married Dash 20 married. It's 5:26. We're gonna go all the way to 5:27. Somebody's smoking. You understand what I'm saying? 2 Chronicles, chapter 35. Yep. He hate losing. Why his mama was a banker and I ain't got no money? It's because they set it up from the get-go. After I gave Oprah Winfrey my child abuse rap at the age of 17 in 1984. All of them came together. Red, white, and blue. Let's see what we got. What's these numbers? 26, 36, 46, 47. That's 11. I need my number one spot back. So that's why Chirac on my mama. You know what I mean? Chicago look like it does. And they've been trying to kill me. He's a hater. Step your game up.